to the iBuyer Experiment. Happy to have you listening today. We're going to be talking about Offerpad going public.
Boom.
It happened, guys.
Ooh, time to buy some stock.
OPAD?
You know? Let's talk about it.
Yep.
Who's got the deets?
Well, our Vesta board in the office has got the deets
Yeah,
on the daily ticker.
The OpenDoor, Zillow, and Offerpad price.
Yeah, the
on
ticker.
Vesta board. So,
Yeah, the ticker. Updates every 10 minutes.
Yeah, so we
Yeah, they
always
had
know where we're at.
They had a pump and dump last week where it went up to $15, dumped back down to 10.
Were you
Yeah,
a
well,
part
they
of
hit-
that, Jason?
It was down at 8.
They opened the market at what, like 8? Or no, 10 is what they opened up at?
Yeah, it went down to like 8.
And it
They- yeah,
dipped right
they
away,
were-
which is kind of typical. Right?
I
A
think
lot of
that they
things-
were hoping for a $3 billion valuation, and they ended up, I think, about 2.6 is where it ended up. So it's so interesting. And for those of you that have heard our story, you know that Offerpad is near and dear to Zoodealio's heart. So we
Thank you,
sent them
Thank you.
a basket of fruit and delectables to congratulate them on all of their success. And so I hope you liked that, Brian Bear. You're welcome.
Are you serious?
No,
Oh.
I'm just
I was like, damn, why didn't I know that?
I was like, damn, we got a pair of steel balls.
no.
We should
Yeah.
do it.
No, you know, though, here's the thing. Like, even though they took a shot at us and, course corrected us, even though that happened, even though that's part of our journey, I'm still happy for them. Like, kudos to them.
Absolutely.
Good job.
Very
Wow.
cool.
I can't even imagine. It's really cool.
Yep, water underneath the bridge. It's all good.
That's right. Absolutely.
Well, it's just the real estate space continuing to innovate, right? And bringing extreme opportunity to this space. Nothing but love.
That's right. Good job, Offerpad. So, yeah, and, we have kind of an interesting segment we want to introduce on the iBuyer Experiment. It's
called the Offer Deep Dive.
Just so y'all know, we challenged Jay to see if he would sing live, and he just did. Not live, but
Yeah, he did. He's got a good voice.
yeah, he does.
Yeah, he never did any of that in our cash offer workshops.
And who did?
I have the worst voice in the room, guaranteed.
No way.
I don't think so, Keith. Do you
guys
want to
do-
you
do-
want to
do you wanna
sing
do-
for
you wanna
us?
do-
I take
No,
that.
no,
Come
no.
on.
That was cash
That
offer
99
workshop. What
problems
they
with
call
the
one-hit wonders.
Cash offer ain't one.
That's in the archives, baby. It ain't coming out again.
Oh my gosh, you guys are missing out. It
All right,
was
so
really
tell
fun.
us.
What's the offer deep dive?
Of the week.
Yeah, so it's really cool to experience all the submissions that come in through our Zoodealio system, and now we're at
Offer request, yeah.
Yeah, offer requests, and so now we're at a point where we've gained a lot of traction, and we're getting acceptances all the time, and so we thought it'd be something cool to talk about. Some, I guess you'll use the word unique, deep dive on the offers, some of the acceptances. So. We have one actually in California. Should I shout out to our subscriber?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Shout out to David Scott.
David Scott.
Yep.
Congratulations
He,
on your offer acceptance.
We got one accepted for $530,000. The seller's kind of I'll just tell the story. He has no qualms about telling it. The seller's kind of a hoarder. She's I think just gotten to that age of life where she needs to move on to something outside of that house. And so the deal worked for her, but I guess the hubby just got a little sick, and so we're waiting for that to pass. But other than that, it's good to go. She's excited. She's going to get the cash that she needs to move on to her next venture, and he's excited because he found a solution for somebody that really needed it.
Oh, that is so cool.
That's awesome. Great.
Yeah,
$500,000 in
sure.
California. It's got to be like a shack, right?
Well,
It's a condo.
he did say it's probably worth more like $750. It just
If it's all
overgrown weeds.
it's all
It doesn't
decked out.
show well right now. It needs some work, and whoever the buyer who's actually purchasing it will probably end up reselling it themselves. So I think it'll just be a win-win for everybody based on the circumstances.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing, Keith, and thank you, David. Yeah, for entrusting Zoodealio to help you with your iBuyer needs. Very
Yeah.
cool.
It's very good. So what else do we have that's popping in right now in like this new space of forever changing thing?
Well, OpenDoor, I think they just beat their expectations of going into 44 markets now, a few months early. Mm-hmm. So they're in like Washington D.C., Cleveland, and one other one I can't remember. But man, they're flying all over the country and open up new markets. So
yeah, their growth for new markets is really insane. So one of the things I think just again for us now having to jump on and consult with brokerages all over the country. One of the biggest things I've been talking about that I really want to pass it on to, our listener base here is actually lining up with this disruption, right? We have become very convicted and very clear that this is actually presenting some of the biggest opportunity that we've ever seen in this space. And that's because there is an opportunity to align yourself with these different ways of doing things. And as OpenDoor, right, blows into these markets, they are paving the way of new things to be done. And you have an opportunity to align with that, right? Don't be afraid of it. Embrace it. So.
Hop on that current, right?
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking is, OpenDoor's coming into your market. They are priming your market with millions of dollars in messaging, all of it designed to change consumer behavior so that when we think we want to sell our home, we go online, we push a button, magic happens, we get instant offers and amazing solutions that are fast, easy, convenient, and cost effective. Mm-hmm. And so as a realtor, we have to be thinking through how are we going to position ourselves in that same vein. So what we love about Zoodealio is, yes, you can be the realtor that mainly operates off of referral and Sphere and social media, but you also should really think hard about integrating a solution so that for that segment of your clientele, you can deliver these options to them.
Well, and it totally makes me think, everything, listening to you there, we have a subscriber client of Zoodealio, Bob McTague, I think is how you pronounce his last name, where he had actually just posted something that really caught my interest this morning, where he was talking about how, ultimately how Realtor.com, when they sold out years ago in AR, and how all of these mega brokerages are lining up with these done for you solution, an instant cash offer, become a cash buyer, or some type of unique product for these types of hooks, because of like what you just said. That's what the consumer is looking for. And so here's the thing I really want to communicate with you guys.
Is it? Wait, I want to challenge you.
But why?
Is the consumer looking for that, or are they being programmed?
They're being programmed for it with billions, hundreds of millions of dollars in advertising.
Okay.
This isn't. They're not looking for it.
It's a path of.
It's always been there with We Buy Ugly Houses. I mean, there's always investors that buy cash. All the little bandit signs.
But
and stuff.
what OpenDoor did is OpenDoor came in and said, "This is for everybody. This is for the busy people. This is for the affluent.
Right,
this
not
is
just
for the people."
And that will give you a full fair market value.
Yeah, not
offer.
not just the busted houses that you think that's there.
Right.
But yeah, and I mean it is right now they are, a lot of the offers are good, right? There's no disputing that.
Now.
Yeah.
They're more than good in some instances, and why is that? So let's
mind
talk
share.
a little bit about that. Why are some of these offers over?
Well, they all just went public, and they all need to keep acquiring homes in order to prove their business model.
Got to move that money.
That's right. Yep.
I literally think it's that simple.
It is very simple. It's very simple, because if they have a quarter that's bad,
what happens?
That slows down, their investors are going, what happened? Why? Wait, you were supposed to be growing.
Right.
So Jason, I mean, you know so much about this. So speak to that though. Like when you say bad, right? It's not always, they may lose money. And a lot of people, like all of us
100%,
normal people, will say that's a
they
bad
are
quarter.
losing
right?
money.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So speak to that to like educate our listeners on the what and the why behind that.
I mean, it's no different than when you start a brand new business. I mean, with Zoodealio, it took us a year before we started making money. We were just shelling it out, right?
Yeah,
shelling it out,
money,
burning cash to get to a certain point to where we could start making some money. So it's like any other business, except it's longer. Right, because you're not changing a small little area of Gilbert, say, or Arizona, or Gilbert, Arizona. You're trying to change the whole United States,
right?
The whole mindset of everyone saying, hey, this is what you can do. You can just trade in your house, sell quickly, move to the next one.
Convenience and certainty,
and it's going to take a long time. It's going to take a long time to really get that. Plus, this is a long, people don't buy and sell houses every day.
Right.
It's like every 5 to 7 years here in Arizona.
Right, on average. So it's low frequency.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So it's going to take a lot longer to change that consumer behavior.
Well, and Kayla, what about unit economics, right? Because I know we've talked about that a few times on this, but like, what do you feel? So like what Jay's talking about, right? Like just kind of painting the picture a little bit better for some of our consumers. When you look at from the previous quarter to the most recent quarter public reportings for OpenDoor, they went from 3,500 houses roughly to 8,500 houses roughly. That's insane growth, and they're still operating in the red with that. So that's what Jay is saying, is like they've had an explosion of growth, but they're still quote unquote losing money per every single house. But there's this thing called the unit economics. So,
well, I think what are you referring to, like the attachment
Yep.
rate of ancillary services? So we know that they can, direct title if they own the home. They can kind of direct mortgage in certain ways. And I don't want to use the word direct because they're not doing anything.
they're incentivizing them.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like
it's incentivizing.
That's the whole bundle thing.
Yeah,
Right,
it
it's
is totally the
bundling.
bundle.
Yep.
Remember we got the Cox bundle with the home phone? And we're like, I don't need a home phone. Well, it's more expensive. You don't have a home phone. So
Now you can
might as well just
bundle
bundle
with
it.
real estate.
Well, Keith was the ultimate bundler. Tell this story. Come on.
Come on, bundle man.
Wait, you mean like, hey, I'm curious, who do you have for your cable, internet, and home phone service?
This guy used to do
bundle and
door-to-door sales. Mad respect, man.
I see you got a satellite dish on that. Is that active? What are you paying? Might be able to
that
get
is
you a better deal.
That's exactly how Keith came out to Arizona. I don't even know if you guys know that. I had my real estate team, and
Of course, like-
I don't remember if you guys.
That's
knew
why we
that.
said the
Okay.
bundle.
Okay,
Yeah, of
my
course
bad.
we know that.
All right,
but
Pollock moment. My bad.
What I think is
You're not supposed
really,
to tell everybody you're Pollock.
Oh, it's kind of obvious.
yeah. What I think is really
You're
crazy to think about is, to speak to me coming into this world in 2010, the real estate industry, what has happened in a decade? Just everything that we just summed up real quick. I mean, think about it. When I first got in, there was really no such thing as a traditional sale,
Nope.
and cash buyers were flooded on the market, right? Everybody knew an investor. Everyone was an investor, but at the time, the facade of the cash offer was they're only getting smoking deals, and they would
Right.
they would never give you an actual full market value offer.
Yep.
And then what has happened in a half a decade in our industry is
Insane.
unbelievable. And so imagine I think this is no different than technology. Technology year over year supersedes in 1 year what it was 3 years ago. And so I think we're going to start seeing that in our real estate industry. So starting next year and moving on, the next half a decade is probably going to be more insane.
I agree. We're going to see
Absolutely.
growth happen at a faster pace. And I wanted to share something from one of our Zoodealio agents that he sent me his insights on some iBuyer research.
Cool.
So 1000 Watt came out with a research report on iBuyers, and it revealed all sorts of information about what do sellers really think about, selling their home, and what are their top stressors, and would they be willing to give up money for an easy, frictionless sale? And the answer was surprisingly, well,
Yes.
not surprisingly. The answer was yes. 77% of sellers would be willing to give up 5 to 11% of their equity for a non-traditional home sale. And so I was sending some research out to some of our agents that attend my weekly coaching call, and Tim wrote me back and he said this. He's like, hey, thanks so much for sending this. I'll dig into it and chew on the information. I believe, this is going along with what you just said, Keith, I believe the industry will continue to change, and it'll be more rapid than anyone existing in the industry will ever even believe it to be.
Yep.
Right? He goes, I remember when those people could only fax over offers, and how creating
my
a PDF of a purchase agreement was just crazy, and look at how fast they all went away. This seems to be a similar tidal wave approaching, and I want to be prepared. Thank you for sharing your vision and inspiring those who are curious and open-minded.
Very
Wow,
cool.
that's a really cool feedback. Good for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I thought
feedback.
that was really good. I wanted to share.
So I thought I'd have my Palm Pilot for like 20 years.
Oh, we
Never
loved
did.
the
So-
Palm
Remember that?
Pilot.
I totally started in the game. We had the BlackBerry here. You like,
The BlackBerry, the Palm Pilot was
I
first.
I never
before the
owned either
BlackBerry.
one of those.
Oh, the
I
crackberry.
had one of
It
those
was
too,
the
but I
crackberry.
yeah, with the
when
rim
you
technology.
Could, you
Remember
could
that? It's
get
got
your
the rim
email on
technology.
your phone. It's like, wow.
The day I saw that, it was like someone showed me how to make fire.
I know,
was
but the
like,
funny thing
whoa.
is like in relativity, that's not even that long ago, right? Like it's not
that's
that
what
long
Keith's
ago.
saying. That's what Tim just said.
That's what's saying. Like, hey,
Yeah.
it's going to be faster than
So
you even
faster.
imagine.
I got derailed from something I wanted to
sorry.
share with earlier because it goes with it. Apparently, this is the theme that we all have here, but is the power of the platform, right? I think that's the thing that we all, so many times agents and people will call in and Zoodealio, what's this program, right? Where it's really about the platform, right? Like part of where these new programs and what's making the open doors of the world so different is because they created a platform. We Buy Ugly Houses is a program. OpenDoor is a platform. So like, therefore our consumers need to realize the difference of that. Yes, it's empowered with a program that's backed on it, and the cash offers, become a cash buyer, those types of things. But they created the arena of inviting a homeowner, all homeowners in their service areas, of where they can request a cash offer on their underwear at midnight if they want to, right? That's with the certainty, convenience, right? So it delivers on those two things, and no obligation. And so what I want all of our agents, what I'm getting at with saying this is all the people that are listening to this that are in the real estate industry, you have to. I don't think it's any longer a choice. You have to start preparing yourself to align yourself with a platform to where you are going to be able to meet your consumers in a different fashion than ever, right? And that is this arena. That's my thought.
And I would just say, you mentioned start preparing. No, just take action.
Okay.
Yes,
right?
take action.
You don't need to start preparing. Just take action.
No getting ready to get ready?
No.
Okay.
No, exactly. So, got to share one of our agents here. His name is Dane. He listened to our podcast last week from Levi Lassick and the Living in Dallas Facebook or YouTube channel. And Dane is very inspired. And he was kind of thinking, hey, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go all in on YouTube anyway. He kind of had that thought. Yep. So after listening to Levi, he's like, oh my gosh, this just makes so much sense. And we were just sharing with him, it's very overwhelming when you start something new. You've got all of these things that you feel like you need to know everything all at once, and you don't, right?
Yep.
People overestimate what they can do in a day, but they underestimate what they can do in a decade. And so the takeaway is just start.
Just start.
And don't be afraid to start small. Don't be afraid to look new. Don't be afraid to,
Exactly. He was asking like, oh, should I do 15 videos and dump them all at the same time so I don't look new? No. Why? It's like,
it's okay to be new.
It's okay to be new. Go for it. It's,
people love the journey.
Yeah. People love the journey, and everyone starts somewhere.
That's right.
Man, this is all. I love that. I mean, check you out, Levi, by the way. Mad props to you. Look at you already inspiring people. One podcast here. You're already touching people out in Arizona. Good for you, man.
A lot. I've heard a lot.
And you know what though? Like actually, in sincerity, that's the cool thing about the journey, right? Is like realize that, like, look at the ripple effect that happens off of certain things. Like, I mean, I know all of us, right, have had the ability or the fortunate opportunity of being affected by people, right? Like mentors in our lives. And being that through our actions, being that for others.
That's right.
Right. To me, it's funny how that a vibration, happens, and it's pretty cool.
The law of attraction, Elliot. The law of attraction.
The law.
I believe in that though. It's the law of energy comes first.
It's all BS. I'm just kidding.
The law of vibration.
We're all just here for no reason. Just get over it. I'm kidding.
Start your statement off with the law.
So
and see what comes
Keith
out.
is the optimistic one in the bunch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Clearly.
No, and hey, also, I just want to also just share, if you have not went and followed James Rembert, the Zillow killer,
James.
because thinking about like how we were connected to Levi talking about that ripple effect of people that come into your lives and they make such a positive impact. And James Rembert, the Zillow killer, he has definitely done that for me. I can speak for the team. He's done it for Zoodealio. We're so thankful for you, James, and all that you're doing to just really support and encourage realtors across the country. And I think that's why he's also really passionate about what we're doing, is because we share the same vision. We see the industry changing, and we know that long term for the consumer, they're going to be best represented by someone who has their fiduciary at heart. And so I'm so thankful for you, James, and just wanted to give you a little shout out, because that's that's how we met Levi.
Yeah.
You know, that's how we went to Atlanta. That's how we've connected with
a lot of people.
a lot of new Zoodealio agents that we're now working with that are just bright and brilliant and embracing social media and taking massive action and not giving excuses for why they don't have what they want in life. And that's what I'm all about. You know, a few months ago, I made a decision that I did not want to hang around with anyone that, you know, just was okay with the status quo for their life.
Yeah.
Right? Because what happens if you don't constantly improve, you will constantly day by day
decay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Growth and decay. Socrates.
There is no stagnant.
Exactly.
Socrates.
So anyway, that's my little rant
That's
for
true.
the day.
True.
See,
Real
I'm
philosophy.
optimistic. I'm just kidding.
Except we're all here for no purpose and we're gonna die.
Get over it.
Get over it.
You just exist. You bag of flesh.
For those of you, that's my way of being humorous. Some people get it, some people don't.
Yeah, there's the
Keith
disclaimer.
is big, got a big heart, right?
Absolutely.
So we all know.
Absolutely. So, you know, I guess as we wrap this up, though, too, I wanted to take a minute. I wanted to actually start off with this from my end, but I'll end with it, or begin the end with it, is thanking everybody for listening, right? Like, we've had a lot of, we were just talking about the grind of the week in and week out of all of this, right? And when you're growing a company, dealing with onboarding employees, Jay's got like 55 interviews today, and all of these things that are going on, it's hard sometimes to like slow down to speed up, you know, kind of thing. And where, you know, with this journey, we've really started to grow, like our listener base. So we wouldn't honestly keep doing it without everybody listening and plugging in, or maybe we would, because we're pretty certain, determined souls. With that said, I just wanted to, you know, obviously acknowledge everybody that's on there. All of these, I mean, we've now had dozens of guests, all of these things over the last year and a half that we've been doing this. And so again, it's just, you know, props to you guys for remaining so steadfast, and thank you everybody for listening to us. So
yeah, appreciate it. And if you guys have questions for us, send it to support@zoodealio.com.
Yes.
Because we want to hear your questions. We want to talk about your questions or give you answers on our thoughts. So, yeah.
That's right. So next week when we podcast, we're going to answer your questions. So email us, support@zoodealio.com.
Live.
All right, that wraps
Questions
it up.
answered live.
That wraps it up. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Everybody
Thank
have
you.
a great
Yep.
week.
See ya.